Jeffrey Epstein's estate holds the truth.
The story of canaries in a coal mine where miners would bring these birds down to see if the air was safe, well, it's happening again, and this time you won't believe who's suffocating.
Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary...
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
From the UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion.
That was Dairy Queen in her day, backing Trump through the craziest shit imaginable. And this is Laura Loomer, who is the craziest shit imaginable.
A woman who said the White House would smell like curry if Kamala Harris won, who has insisted for years that 9/11 was an inside job, and who described herself as a, quote, proud Islamophobe, is now apprised of scheduled top secret briefings and apparently holds veto power over who gets access to classified briefings. We're talking about Trump associate Laura Loomer.
These two have been the biggest Trump supporters imaginable, with their racist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, all the phobic support of the worst human since primates learned to talk. And now, well, things are changing. These two are turning on Trump.
And she has made it her mission to get people fired that she considers disloyal to Donald Trump.
Personally, I think she's a patriot, and she gets excited because of the fact that she's a patriot.
And she's been very effective so far. There are about a dozen people who have lost their jobs in the Trump administration, in part because she targeted them.
I don't understand why there's so much outrage over the additional vetting that I'm doing independently of the Trump administration.
Here's an example of her growing clout. Last week, the country's top vaccine regulator was ousted. His name is Vinay Prasad, and he had a bunch of tweets in the past saying that he was a Bernie Sanders progressive and disparaging Donald Trump. Well, Loomer spent 10 days posting these online, sharing them with her audience, building up a steady drumbeat of opposition to the point where the White House had to act. Loomer has long made clear that she thinks she should actually be inside the White House doing this work.
And now, well, things are changing. These two are turning on Trump. And before I get to the details, let me say how rare that is. Offhand, there are quite a few Republicans who turned their backs on Trump after the first 4 years, Kelly, Tillerson, Mattis, Walsh, and of course, Kinzinger and Cheney. But then Trump went steroid crazy.
Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. When the guns are trained on her face.
So now with Trump arresting Comey and James, and who knows, Pritzker and Newsom next, well, the rebellion isn't quite the same. So it's insanely surprising to find these two as the only ones with the stones to stand up to man-titties. Now, I say that with some trepidation, as these two are still batshit crazy and could flip quicker than a short-order cook. And while many have called for the Epstein list to be released,
who's been involved in any way in the Epstein evils to be brought to justice as quickly as possible. And the law should be brought down upon their head.
A witch hunt.
I kept my underwear on.
Release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
I think the time has come for the administration to release all of the files.
I mean, we as the American people deserve to have every Epstein file released with no redactions whatsoever, period. Correct. They got to make it right.
Well, only Dairy Queen mentioned the White House and where the truth could be buried.
It's sitting on my desk.
But that said, these two are doing what no one in MAGA country will, and that's calling this bitch out.
The truth needs to come out, and the government holds the truth. The cases that are sealed hold the truth. Jeffrey Epstein's estate holds the truth. The FBI, the DOJ, and the CIA holds the truth.
And along those same lines, Laura Loomer, who is fucking certifiable, is adamant about Trump not pardoning Maxwell.
On Monday, the Supreme Court declined to consider Maxwell's appeal of her conviction. When asked about possibly giving her a pardon, here's what the president said.
I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I would have to take a look. Did they reject that?
She wanted to appeal her conviction.
And what happened?
They said that they were not going to hear her appeal.
I see. Well, I'll take a look at it. I will speak to the DOJ.
Laura Loomer strongly condemned the idea of pardoning Maxwell. She says, I strongly advise against anyone lobbying the Trump admin and the DOJ to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. Do not do it. I repeat, do not do it. There will be no coming back from that. I repeat again, for the love of God, do not do it.
All right, now, if that were it, well, I'd understand, because unless you're Jim Jordan with a wrestling mat in your rec room, child exploitation is generally frowned upon. But that wasn't it. As we know, Dairy Queen and Laura Loomer have propagated their insane conspiracies to the world, like...
Can you tell me why so many people
that support Donald Trump love conspiracy theories, including yourself. He seems to attract lots of conspiracy theorists.
Well, let me tell you, you're a conspiracy theorist, and the left and the media spreads more conspiracy theories. We like the truth. We like supporting our Constitution, our freedoms, and America first. So,
what about Jewish space lasers? Tell us about Jewish space lasers.
No, why don't you go talk about Jewish space lasers? And really, why don't you off? How about that?
But it seems now their medication is kicking in and they're pushing back on Trump, and in very different and effective ways. Let's start with Dairy Queen. She voted for the big, beautiful bill, and then she read it and learned that Georgia couldn't stop job-stealing AI from coming to her state and fucking with her constituents.
Now, even though the Congresswoman voted for the bill in the House, she now says, in full transparency, that she wasn't aware of a section that would strip states of their ability to regulate artificial intelligence for the next decade. Here's what she posted on social media, quote, "We have no idea what AI will be capable of in the next 10 years. Congresswoman, you say in full transparency you didn't know that this was in there, and now you're shining a light on it. How did you not know that it was in there, and how'd you find out about it?"
Well, we don't get the full bill text until very close to the time to vote for it. And so that was one section, that was 2 pages that I didn't see. And I'm being very transparent and honest about it with everyone, but I find it so problematic that I'm willing to come forward and admit that those are 2 pages that I didn't read, because I never want to see a situation where state rights are stripped away. And that's exactly what it says in that bill text, that it would take away states' rights to regulate or make laws against AI for 10 years. And I think that's pretty terrifying. We don't know what AI is going to be capable of within 1 year. We don't know what it will be capable of in 5 years, let alone 10 years. And I think we have to protect states' rights to be able to regulate and make laws that they need to make for their states.
You know, you do come forward and you say it flat out. In transparency, you didn't know. But there was this viral moment back in 2010. It was Congresswoman Speaker Nancy Pelosi at the time. I want to play the soundbite and get your reaction on the other side.
But we have to pass the bill.
I mean, she sounds almost normal, right? Is that what it sounds like when you emerge from a cult? But that was just the beginning. As Trump lies about the economy, people in red states got to wonder what country Trump is living in.
We're bringing down prices a lot. We're bringing down grocery prices, but the big thing is energy. When you bring down energy, everything comes down.
So now Dairy Queen goes on CNN, not Fox. Why CNN are not her tried and true? Well, we tried reaching out to Fox, but they couldn't respond because, you know, with Trump's cock in your mouth, it's hard to talk. Anyway, listen to Dairy Queen sound almost like a Democrat.
Costs have not come down. I myself can tell you my apartment here in Washington, D.C., the electricity bill is $100 more than it was last year, because you can look at your own bill and look at costs. Prices have not come down. That is a reality. People's wages have not gone up. That's another reality. And so Americans are continuing to have a very difficult time.
And Loomer wasn't done yet either. Let's go back in the past when Qatar gave Trump a $400 million jet, and Trump said this.
So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane.
Now we hear just today about a finalized agreement that will allow the Qatari Emiri Air Force to build a facility at Mountain Home Air Force Base in Idaho, here in the U.S. Qatari soldiers and pilots will train with U.S. soldiers and pilots. Now that sounds like some quid pro quo going on, right? And Laura Loomer, not happy. She tweeted this: "I never thought I'd see Republicans give terror financing Muslims from Qatar a military base on U.S. soil so they can murder Americans. I don't think I'll be voting in 2026. Whoa! And by the way, she's right about Qatar as a terrorist state heavily funding Hamas and Hezbollah. So the question is this: what will Trump and MAGA's reaction be, and what will Dairy Queen's reaction be if Trump attacks her? You know, this is how I pictured MAGA disintegrating, but I must admit I'm surprised it starts with these two women. Still, the truth is their voices won't be loud enough unless others stand up and say, what the fuck happened to Make America Great Again bullshit. Because from Epstein to Qatar, the only person who's getting great is Trump. And we know what happens to the Canaries.
Goddamn right. Whether the women like it or not.
I kept my underwear on.
Go fuck yourself.
A witch hunt.
Suck my fat one.
You're a nasty person.
I think the president is definitely f***ing Satan.
They know how to get to me.
They had what?
Bloated and fat and disgusting. We're a nation that speaks English.
Look, if something like this, that thing's ugly. Who you talking to?
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
TikTok.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donna.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.